Hey developers, and welcome back to the Coding Hub. In this video, we're going to look at vibe coding on an iPad. And I honestly think this is one of the best use cases for coding on an iPad, because when the idea strikes you, you can directly start doing some vibe coding on your iPad, and it's a lot easier access. Now, in order to do this, you will need the GitHub app and log in with your GitHub account. And what I've got here is opened one of my repositories, the translator app text, which is a new project I've been working on for the last couple of weeks that allows me to translate different string files for iOS apps into multiple different languages. So it speeds up my development process a lot more, and I can get my app translated to a lot of different languages quickly. But for this, what I did was I've got this file here that I changed. And so this is an Angular application, and I've got a nav bar. And on the nav bar, I added this using AI. So I added this bit of code here, changed the background to green. Now I didn't actually want to do this, but I was just testing out with AI. And what I then did was I asked AI to change it to blue just so that I can show you how it does everything. But what I'd say is make sure you add all of this to a different branch so that it doesn't directly commit to your main branch. And what you can do is just directly start typing to this GitHub Copilot, and it will start doing things for you, creating branches, updating files, and then that would in turn create things for you. So it won't be perfect, so definitely put on a separate branch that you can then go back to at a later date on your computer and then fully test it to make sure it's okay, review the code, and then create a pull request to merge it into your main branch if everything's okay. The other thing you can see here at the bottom is that I've reached my request limits already. I've reached them actually pretty quickly. I essentially just changed the color 3 or 4 times for the purposes of this video, and I already reached my limits. That is a limitation, so if you do want to use this fully, then you will need to upgrade. I was using ChatGPT 5 mini preview here, but if you do want to use this on a regular basis to do some feature planning and feature creation on your iPad whilst you're in bed or on the sofa, then I would recommend upgrading up. I probably will upgrade myself just because I think this is quite cool, as the barrier to entry is a lot lower to making some of these features. And then all I need to do is, once I do have an hour or two free, is go review all those pull requests, do some changes, test them all, and then get them merged and hopefully get through new features quicker. But just to show you what it did was, if I go back in here and then change branch, you can see the change navbar color branch. It created this branch for me. And if I go into the code, I can see the change in the color. So if I go to navbar again, there you go, you can see it's been changed here to blue, a bit how I asked it to do it in the prompts. And I think this is a really good way of doing vibe coding on your iPad, because it removes that barrier to entry if you don't have a keyboard, for example. But it's not just for iPad, actually. You can do this on your phone. So if you're on the train commuting to work and you just get an idea for your personal project, but you don't have the time to implement it that day, you can just ask Copilot to start working on it. And then you review it and test it and make adjustments as needed at a later date, which I think is very cool, and it will save a lot of people a lot of time, especially the ones like myself who are working on personal projects on the side of their full-time job. So I hope this video was useful, and I'll see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content.